your mind. If I had just one wish, be expanding your mind and say, wake the fuck up, leave them shackles behind. It's the age of the Aquarius and conscious of vibe. You stuck in the matrix.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Namaste, my friends. Quick question. How do you know when the people who raised you are actually holding you back? The ones we are supposed to know and love and be loyal to, what happens when they're the ones causing the most pain? Let's be real. Navigating toxic parent-child relationships can be a fucking emotional roller coaster. But when do you stop saying, they're just family, that's just my mom, that's just how my dad is, and start saying, I deserve some fucking peace, even if it means setting boundaries with the one who gave me life? Let's talk about that. So I'm going to need you to buckle up, folks, because today we are diving into the murky waters of toxic parent-child relationship. And this one is heavy. I can feel it on my back, but it's going to be worth it, okay? All right, guys, today's episode, toxic parent-child relationship. We're going to talk about what it looks like, why it happens, and when to walk away. So, hello, my beautiful people. You are tuned into the Hello Vibes Meet Elevation podcast. But you already know that ain't just no ordinary part of it, right? You are officially in the space of the thought-provoking talk with Crystal Jackson, where things get real. You know what I mean? This is where we ask the hard question, tackle the tough topics, and sometimes throw a little shade on the name of growth. Of course, think of this like one of those late-night heart-to-hearts with your bestie, but it's got a little more structure and way less side-eye. Judgment-free zone. But guys, again, buckle up today because we're talking about something that's a little scary, because today's conversation isn't just thought-provoking. It is necessary, guys. We're diving into toxic parent-child relationship, what they look like, why they happen, whether they can be fixed, and if not, when is the time to walk away. Let's get into it. Too far behind. You too far behind. Hello, namaste. This is your girl Crystal, and I am back with a plot twist. I know that the last episode I said we was going to talk about cheating and walking away in this episode, but I lied by mistake. We did a lot of cheating talk, and I know we're focused on cheating and stuff, but it's only because it is October, the month of relationships, love, harmony, and balance. We're trying to get that together. This episode is going to be about toxic parent-child relationships. Still gonna do the cheating one, but I'm gonna do this one first. So, are y'all ready? Yeah. Too far behind. You too far behind. All right. The main discussion, the first topic. What does a toxic parent-child relationship look like? What does it look like? Let's be honest. Family dynamics aren't always rainbows and sunshine. A toxic relationship with a parent might look like any one of these things I'm about to name off. Emotional manipulation, when they guilt trip you into doing things for them or for the family. Unrealistic expectation, when you feel like you're never good enough no matter what you achieve, or they're living vicariously through you. Controlling behavior, when they treat you like a child, even when you're an adult, and invade your privacy or independence. Verbal or emotional abuse, when criticism, belittling, or insults are normalized. You just know, oh, she's going to tell me I'm fat, or that's not good. Or she's going to say something about my haircut. Neglect or abuse. This is when you're physically, emotionally, when your parent is physically or emotionally unavailable and it leaves you feeling abandoned. Friends, these behaviors leave lasting wounds. I promise you they do. And I'm telling you, if you've been through this, if you're going through it, if you already walked away from it, you need some healing. You need to identify, acknowledge, and you need to heal. Even if it's, again, without the parent. It's going to be very hard. I'm not going to say you can't, because I don't like to put an impossible barrier in front of somebody. It's going to be very difficult to move forward successfully, positively, if you're still holding on to that, even if you don't know you're holding on to it. Okay? So, like, if you ever caught yourself, like, wondering if your relationship is toxic or not, bingo, there are some of the bullet points. Do you feel like you're still seeking approval from your parents, like really bad? That might be a toxic relationship. You may feel that you've never got the approval or the attention that you need, so now you're steady chasing it and you're grown. That's a toxic relationship. I'm not saying you're wrong for that, that's the way it is. Like, I'm telling you, these deep childhood wounds, woo-wee, they will come up to surface and bubble up like boiling water. You hear me? Second part, why do toxic parent-child relationships even happen? All right, so y'all, it's going to always be a reason behind toxic behavior. Doesn't justify the behavior, nor does it justify the hurt. Sometimes, a lot of times, more times than not, almost like 90-something% of the time, parents pass on their unresolved trauma, and it becomes a repeating cycle that they never heal from. So that's what I'm saying. You want to heal this because you don't want to put your kids through, or your nieces, nephews, or any actually. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Even if they're not your children, they're our children collectively. You feel me? So, generational patterns. This is what when they experience growing up, and they become their blueprint for parenting. Like, say if you were younger and your parents locked you in the closet when, like, you misbehaved. They didn't whip you, but they locked you in the closet. But you hated it. You felt real claustrophobic and you felt alone. But then you get out and you do it to your kids and you say, shoot, my mom ain't done that to me. That's toxic. If you felt very uncomfortable, you didn't like how that felt. Like for me, I hated whoopings. I mean, not like the average kid, like I hated them. I didn't get that many, but I hated them. I never whooped my kids. And I don't judge. I'm not the judging type. Spirit of God, support child. It really don't make me a difference. As long as you're not abusing them, of course. But I do feel like, now that I'm older, my own thinking, I do feel like whooping with a belt a lot of times doesn't do nothing but kind of teach a child, if you're angry or mad, then you lash out. You know what I mean? If someone didn't do what you say, then you lash out. Like, now that is something that was so deeply embedded in us. It's just part of our culture, our society, whatever. But I've never, ever with my kids, never. I with my daughter motorcycle one time. Did I whip with a belt? I can't remember. I think I might have one time. But other than that, I got 5 children. Never whipped any of them but that one time. People be like, I never did something but one time. So I can't say never then. I've never whipped 4 of my children. I only whipped 1. How about that? All right. And then they got these, the second one's unreal life streams. Some parents place unfair pressure on their children. That's the living vicariously. They put that pressure on you to fill them goals that they never reach. Like if you want to be a movie star and your mom got you all in this pageants, all you want to do is be a tattoo artist. Here she got you playing in 90210, you know what I mean? And it's not something you want to do. Toxic. Emotional immaturity. Parents who never learn how to regulate their own emotions, they're going to lash out. Especially if it's unhealed and they're toxic. I hate to say they're toxic, but they're toxic. The behavior is toxic. is going to lean on, they're going to lean on their kids for that emotional support, or they're going to lash out. Either way. And then the child ends up being the parent. And then you got culture and society norms. So like in some families, emotional abuse is normalized under the guise of tough love or tradition, or whatever goes in this household stays in this household. You know. The tricky part is that many parents, they don't even realize their behavior is toxic. They think they're doing the best they can, or they're stuck in the mindset of family first, or that's how they was raised, so they think it's normal. Even when the family is causing harm, it's just normal. This is our family, this is us. Can this be fixed, y'all? And if it can, then how? All right, the next segment. All right, let me pull out the real stick. Let's be real. The real stick is at 8.9 meters. So it says, my real stick says some toxic relationships can be repaired. Of course they can be repaired. Of course, relationship takes two people in any dynamic, two people to agree to something. And if you both work at it, it can be repaired. Okay? So this is how you want to start. You're going to set clear boundaries. Communicate what's not okay and stick to it. Boundaries, they do teach other people how to treat you. Listen, create you at least one small boundary today. Say, you know what? At 9 o'clock, I'm not answering the phone. I don't care what it is. No, that's probably a little harsh, because what if something happens? No, I couldn't hold you accountable for that or anything. I wouldn't even ask you out yourself. Just think of something like a very simple boundary that you could set, that you could do right now, and do not budge on it. Like one of my friends, one of my co-astrologers, we were talking, I needed her to show me how to do something. She had inboxed me earlier and said she'll show me. So then later on, I had inboxed her. She's like, can I do it tomorrow? I'm stressed out. I've been doing a lot, da-da-da-da. I was okay, cool. She's telling me about our little transit talk we had coming up. I was like, okay, well, I want to know more about it later. She's like, well, I'm about to get you information and send to you now. I said, stop. I said, if you set you some boundaries, don't you cross the boundaries for me or anybody else. You know what I mean? I could wait for tomorrow. You got to set the boundaries. You got to stand on it. Even if it seems small. Even if it's like, okay, I could just do this. Because if you've been and you've been and you're breaking your phone, next thing you know, boundary gone. Okay? Seek professional help. Empowerment coach, Crystal. Me, empowerment coach. Hello. Okay, therapy, counseling, or family mediation. Empowerment coach Crystal can open up communications and provide tools for healing. You can seek professional help. Seek someone to talk to. I'm joking, but I'm serious. I am an empowerment coach, and I will be starting my sessions next year, starting the beginning next year. But even outside of me, anybody, therapy, counseling, sit down with somebody and talk. Sometimes all you got to do is really talk and let it out, and you can hear the solution. You can hear the problem solution. You can hear everything. I promise. You can hear how messed up things sound or how good they sound. Have an honest conversation. If it feels safe, let them know how their behavior affects you. But be prepared. They may not be receptive right away. Listen to me. I don't care if you really open the communication. You sit down with somebody, you're going to know when they're not receptive. Offer it immediately. As soon as you see them not being receptive, change the tone, the subject, and let it go until they are. Because I can promise you, if you talk to somebody that's not receptive about a real critical issue that involves them, you're not going to get nowhere. You're not going to get nowhere. But a big argument and a storm out or something. You know what I mean? So, and I suggest that in life, period. Never talk to somebody who's not receptive. Even if you're like debating or you're having an issue with someone, I've learned to do that. Like if I'm talking about, okay, well, I understand. I always try to understand where somebody comes from, even if I don't agree. If I don't agree with you, but I hear what you say. I understand. Or no, I don't understand. Explain it to me. I need clarification. But if I start talking like you, and you're like, nah, and you're just not hearing nothing I'm saying, we're not about to continue this conversation. So I'm like, you know what? I don't think, you're not being receptive to what I'm saying right now. You're not really hearing me. I get it. We could talk about this later. And I'm going to let it go. I'm not arguing with somebody based off of our opinions or our thoughts or perception. and we could just have a conversation. I'd rather you to just say, hey, I don't understand, I don't agree, I don't understand, and there's no sense to talk about no more. Because at this point, now I'm just trying to convert you and think of what I'm thinking. If I'm telling you something, you tell me you don't understand what I'm saying, I clarify it, and then I give it to you so many ways, and you still don't understand. Either one, you don't want to understand it. Either two, we having a big block between our communication. Or either three, you're not hearing me, you're not really listening. Either way, nothing's going to get resolved, because now at this point, what I'm going to do, keep retelling it to say, I'm going to keep telling it again. Okay, well, let me try from this angle, let me try. No. Because at this point now, I'm just beating a dead horse. The person does not understand what I'm saying. They're not, when our communication is going to let it go. The only other way you're going, I'm going to get you to understand about cram some, letters in your head or something. That's too much. That's too much work. That's just let it go. We'll talk when we can. And if we never come upon this topic again, you find yourself a way to heal. You know what I mean? You have to accept, okay, I tried talking to this person. They're not receptive. Hopefully in the future they will be, but they're not now. I need healing now. You start working on yourself now. You can forgive somebody without them ever saying sorry. You can forgive somebody and never talk to them again and genuinely forgive them and mean it. It's just got to be genuine. That's the art. All right? And my other bullet point was focus on personal healing, which I just said. So, look, regardless of response. Whew. Repair is possible, but it requires mutual accountability, guys, and a willingness to grow. So if only one person is going to work, it's a losing battle. They're going to keep winning, you're going to keep losing, because they don't give a fuck about it and you do. So let it go, walk away, work on yourself. All right. So now let's talk about when to walk away. We kind of talked about it just now, but we're going to, since I went through all the trouble to do the bullet points and everything, we might as well. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? Before I invest my love, don't walk away. All right. So you guessed it, when to walk away. This is the hardest part in any relationship. Even when you come to a point like I am at this piece I cannot explain. I could walk away from a relationship like this, but it's still kind of hard, especially with somebody you love, but it's like a piece of cake compared to what it used to be, but it's hard, I'm just saying, for me, compared to what it used to be. Knowing when it's time to walk away is even harder. Especially if it's your parents. You know what I mean? Okay. So, you need to create space, whether you want to or not. You should. You don't have to. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. These are all suggestions and information. When their behavior continues to harm your mental health, despite your effort to set boundaries, have you ever been after when you got the boy? Oh my gosh, I had maybe 4 of those type of disagreements with my ex, and I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. It was simply because gaslighting. I was being, oh my goodness. And I know when I'm being gaslighted. I know it, So now I'm getting angrier, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? Why can't we have a conversation? Or why when it just wasn't good, and my peace was at stake. When I tell you, I used to be yelling and jumping up and down. That's crazy. All because I didn't like that I wasn't being understood. I was being the gaslighter. The gaslighting was driving me absolutely nuts. And when something or someone has that type of control where I'm reacting like that, I know it's toxic for me. You know what I mean? So it was like, dang, what about love? And I'm like, I do love you, but my peace comes first. My peace is going to always come first from here on out. It feels good, I was able to exhale. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. You know what I mean? I don't own him. He don't own me. We experience each other. We went on about it. Oh, yeah, I wanted to correct something, too. In the episode, The Monogamous, I said me and my husband been separated since 2023. I meant to say 2003. Okay, what was here, guys? Oh, you want to walk away, that's right. Okay, if they refuse to acknowledge or change their behavior, if you feel guilty, anxious, or exhausted every time you interact with them, and if their presence holds you back from growing into your full potential, it's just time to walk away. You're here to grow, you know? And walking away doesn't always mean cutting somebody off completely. It just means walking away till you get your strength to be able to, if it comes to that point, it's not a problem. Because you're strengthened now, you're strong, you don't work on yourself, you know what it is to feel peace, you know what it is to not have that toxic energy around you, so you don't want it. You know what I mean? So you're willing to put your peace before your, you know, what you love or whatever. But you don't have to completely cut somebody off. You just take some steps back, you limit contact, create emotional distance. But in some cases, again, cutting ties entirely is the only way to protect your peace. I'm sorry. Remember, guys, choosing yourself is never selfish. Sometimes loving someone for a distance is the healthiest way to go. Real talk. All right, guys, that was the end of that. See, that wasn't that bad. That was something we needed to talk about, something we needed to discuss. And plus, an intimate relationship is not the only relationships there is. You know, we got to talk about the parents and child. It's the month of October. Relationships. I'm just talking upside of my neck. Okay, guys, the tip of the day. If you're struggling with a toxic parent-child relationship, I want you to try this. Write a letter to your parents, expressing everything you've been holding back. I mean everything. Now, if you have the courage to give it to them, by all means, mail that bitch, put it under their pillow, put it in their food when they eat, you know, like a ring. Or if you don't have the courage to do it, just burn that bitch, burn it. Whatever it is, putting your feelings all out into words, it can help release what you've been carrying, and it can help you gain clarity on what to do next. Writing was always my go-to, y'all. Writing, it's so therapeutic. When my fiance got murdered, I created a whole notebook, a binder with like dividers, and I had the grieving tabs. So whatever day I was feeling, I write it in. And when I tell you it's the writing needs to go just a little better. I can't explain, just a little better. I feel like, you know, right? Like I was talking to writing is just therapeutic. But even if writing ain't your thing, it's not about the actual writing process, the actual writing. I'm trying to get you to see. It's the actual getting the feelings out, getting it out of you, you know? Okay, well, guys, it is your turn. I want to hear from you. What is holding you up? I mean, have you ever had to set boundaries with a parent? Or have you walked away from a toxic relationship? What helped you make the decision? Come on, reach out on social media. Leave me a comment, share a story. Give me the middle finger. Do something. Your experience might be the lifeline for someone else today. So think about it. And with that being said, this is the end of the day. Okay, my family, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning into this heavy but necessary conversation. Real talk. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And guys, y'all missing out if y'all ain't checked out Creations by Us, www.inspiredvibrations.com. If you ain't subscribed, baby, there's so many promotions about to come. If you're going to miss out, go subscribe. Check out my handmade jewelry. Grab a pair of earrings, support your girl, be a guest on a podcast, comment, do something. Are you there? Is anybody out there? Hey, I just hear echoes. Maybe the world is asleep. Ow. Okay, guys, until next time, remember you are allowed to protect your peace, even if it means redefining what families look like. Stay elevated, stay empowered. And remember, protect your energy like the Secret Service. Protect the president, but not John F. K. And always be mindful of your energy. It's expensive. Be mindful how you spend it. And I will catch you in the next episode. And I'm going to close out with the mantra. You ready? I am allowed to create boundaries. I am worthy of peace, even if it means loving from a distance. Namaste, my baby. If I had just one wish to be expanding your mind, I say wake the fuck up, leave them shackles behind. It's the age of the Aquarius, unconscious about them. She's stuck in the matrix, you're too far behind. You're too far behind. Raising vibe for the collective, it start with reflection, and eventually spend to your conscious collective, protect